Hey Rob here, how you doing? And welcome to the fourth episode of The Way, where today we're going to be looking at the wisdom of thoughtful action. Before we do that, take a moment, click subscribe, visit the website www.ancient-whispers.co.uk. Be great to see you there. More articles, more things to get your head around, put into practice. So, we live in a world of instant reactions. News spreads in seconds, opinions are shared without reflection, and judgment is made before the full picture is revealed. The ability to pause, reflect, and act with wisdom is increasingly rare, but it is also one of the most powerful skills we can cultivate. What if wisdom is not found in knowing everything, but in knowing when to listen, when to speak, and when to remain still? There's a danger of acting without thought. Modern culture celebrates speed and decisiveness. We're told to trust our instincts, respond quickly, and always have an opinion. But as history and personal experience show, many of our worst decisions come from reacting too soon. How many times have we jumped to conclusions about a person only to realize later we misjudged them, spoken out of anger and regretted the words that could never be taken back? Believed gossip without questioning its truth, made a major life decision without seeking counsel, only to later wish we'd waited. True wisdom is not about having immediate answers. It is about knowing when to pause, when to seek guidance, and when to trust silence. In Celtic spirituality, wisdom is not found in impulsive reactions, but in deep, steady awareness of life's rhythms. The early monks and Celtic saints did not rush to speak or to act or to judge. Instead, they cultivated discernment, the ability to see clearly, wait patiently, and act intentionally. They understood that words hold power. They can heal, they can transform, but they can wound, they can unite or divide. Not all information is truth. So true nowadays. Some is distorted, manipulated, exaggerated, or just incomplete. True wisdom comes from humility, from seeking guidance rather than assuming we know best. Their approach was not one of inaction, but of deliberate action. They did not avoid speaking or acting, but they chose when and how to do so with great care. One of the greatest dangers of acting without discernment is our tendency to believe and repeat what we hear without question. I mean, how often do we hear a piece of gossip and assume it must be true? How often do we judge someone based on a single moment rather than their whole story, their whole character? How often do we form opinions without seeking full understanding? It is far easier to believe the worst in others than to seek the truth. But true wisdom requires that we do not believe everything we hear. Truth is often more complex than the first story we're told. Do not repeat everything we hear. Just because something is believed doesn't mean it has to be shared. Seek understanding before forming opinions. Take time to reflect before deciding what is true. One of the greatest marks of wisdom is knowing that we do not know everything. Knowing our limits, knowing our boundaries. The wisest people are not those who rely on themselves, but those who seek guidance from others. Who do you turn to for wisdom? Do you surround yourself with people who challenge and refine your thinking? Are you open to advice, or do you resist correction? The ancient Celts understood the power of wise counsel. They did not live in isolation, but formed communities of wisdom, learning from elders, mentors, and spiritual guides. From the Celtic tradition, we have the Anam Cara, that soul friend, that spiritual friend that walks beside you. They knew that a wise friend sees what we cannot see. A humble heart is willing to listen, and the more we listen, the less we regret. One of the hardest disciplines of wisdom is learning to wait. Waiting before speaking in anger. Waiting before making a decision. Waiting before passing judgment. The world presses us to act now, speak now, decide now. But the greatest decision in life often requires patience, prayer, and thoughtful reflection. The more we practice waiting, the less we will regret. So how can we cultivate wisdom and forethought in our daily lives? Pause before reacting. Before responding to an email, a comment, an insult, take a breath. Ask yourself, am I reacting or responding? Think before you speak. Not every thought needs to be voiced. You get some people go, oh, well, if you don't like what I say, it's just who I am. Actually, that makes you inconsiderate and unthoughtful. Choose words that build up rather than tear people down. Question what you hear. Just because something is said or written does not mean it is true. Take time to seek full understanding before forming an opinion. To not do so is to look at a mountain and go, that's too steep to climb, when there's an escalator to the top on the other side. Seek wise counsel. Do not make decisions alone. Surround yourself with people who will challenge and refine you. Practice humility. Accept that you do not have all the answers. Be willing to admit when you're wrong and learn from others. There is a peace that comes from living a thoughtful life. When we act with wisdom and forethought, we live with fewer regrets. We're no longer at the mercy of impulsive decisions, thoughtless words, and hasty judgments. Instead, we live with clarity, purpose, and peace, moving through the world with intention rather than reaction. Perhaps today is a call to pause, to reflect and listen, to seek wisdom rather than impulse. Because a life built on thoughtful, intentional action is a life that leaves no room for regrets. I hope this has spoke to you today, and if it has, click the subscribe. There's many more of these on the way. Do visit the website www.ancient-whispers.co.uk, where I share more thoughts, ideas, and practical ways you can incorporate them into your everyday life. Much love, many blessings. See you again in the next episode. Take care.